Okay, welcome everyone to the update 28 video. So actually it's not really an update 28 video. It's gonna be more of the new boss, which is Lich. So this is a new boss video, the Lich video. We're playing on normal difficulty and we're gonna be buying the new Ninja Paragon. So both of them very exciting. Things that we haven't seen in BT6. I can tell you guys, before you guys see it in actual gameplay, that thing is insane. It's just straight up crazy. It's the best Paragon currently in the game. That thing it's just crazy. You guys are gonna see it later on. I'm just gonna buy it for the 5th tier because that's one, and it's the most expensive one out of all of them. But talking about the boss and what's coming up, this guy's insane. I mean, this guy is unlike Bloonarius. He has less HP than Bloonarius. He's got some special properties that we haven't seen so far. And it's, some people thought that he might be similar to Bloonarius, but he's not. Well, in a sense he is, that he summons bloons, but it's kind of different, that he's got a lot of these passive abilities, and he does some things, and he forces us to kind of adjust our gameplay in a certain way. I believe that the farming is going to remain relatively the same, but the defenses versus this guy, that is going to be a whole nother story. So let's just jump right into it. So while doing the normal one, I learned a lot of things, and the thing that you guys saw there is me selling the alchemist. So number one, Lich, well, as you guys can notice, this guy has 14,000 HP as opposed to Bloonarius, which I think has about 20k on the first one, on tier 1 on normal mode. So this guy has less HP, but from what I can tell, he moves a little bit faster than Bloonarius. And so I tried to do the sticky bomb, the thing that we normally do. But the thing is, although the sticky bomb works, see, here's what he does. He summons Moab class bloons. So that's Lich's thing. He doesn't summon normal bloons, and these Moab class bloons that get summoned by Lich, they don't have any children bloons. And if you guys saw that one, that big thingy, that big bloon that looks like Lich, well, that is, I don't know his name actually. I don't know what they call it. I think they mention it somewhere in the description before you start the boss battle. But that thing is a very special bloon, which while it's on the field, you cannot damage Lich. So that means that you need to get rid of it as soon as possible, but it's a very easy bloon to get rid of it. And that thing, actually, as you guys can see, he is invulnerable right now. So he has these little small periods of an invulnerability, and you need to be focusing down this bloon that's essentially a child of Lich, but kind of looks like him, but it's a little bit smaller. And so that bloon is very special, and he does something that I didn't notice up until tier 2, and that is that smaller copy of Lich actually takes away lives from you. And so this is the number one adjustment that we have to make. Well, actually the number two. The number one adjustment is that you cannot use alchemists or actually almost any kind of buffs onto your towers, and that's very important. So alchemists, I'm gonna test the engineer later on. I'm just gonna tell you what happened. It doesn't work, so I ultra boosted an ace, and when Lich appeared, it wiped all of my ultra boost charges. So ultra boost engineer is not gonna work. And a special ability that Lich has, which obviously Bloonarius doesn't, is that Lich actually heals himself from these things. So while you have a passive going, or actually a buff going on your towers, Lich is going to destroy those passives on your tower, so he's going to basically nullify them, and he's going to heal off of them. So it's actually against your interest to buy alchemists and engineers and to use the village ability and stuff like that. So it's a very, very counterintuitive thing, right? It's kind of, the nerf to the alchemists that everyone, I'm not sure if everyone wanted, but if it happened, it was kind of expected, right? Because they're too strong. But here we go to a 2 Lich. So, what would you do? Because he summons Moab class bloon, he's a Moab class bloon himself. And then, the small little guy that looks like him, I don't know what his name is, but the small little guy that looks like him, that takes away your lives, it's also Moab class bloon. So what do? You get the mat. So obviously the mat is gonna be a fantastic tower versus this guy. Is obviously gonna be used in the elite. We use it on Bloonarius, and we're gonna be using into going into elite Lich as well. And I did a little bit of testing here to see how many lives this guy drains. So apparently on tier 2 normal Bloonarius, he drains the small one when he's on the field. It drains 2 lives. So I would assume that the tier 1 would drain 1 life, and then it scales further you go. So something else that we need to pay attention while playing this guy is actually getting some lives. So I'm getting lives through Benjamin and through, well, mostly through these farms actually, because there's this monkey knowledge that has your farms, your central markets and your marketplaces giving you lives each round. So these guys are going to be fantastic. They're going to be fantastic in terms of farming and then, you know, passively gaining you the lives, because the longer this small child of Lich that looks like him, fuck, I don't know how to call this guy, but, you know, the longer that thing is on the field, the more lives you're going to be losing, right? So you want to get rid of it. That's going to be your primary focus. As soon as the skull is up, bam, you need to focus that thing as soon as possible. So that's kind of the focus on Lich and what you should be doing. Of course, the mat is an amazing tower, but no alchemists, no ultra boosts, nothing. And, you know, thinking about the late game, how it's going to work, I was thinking about this while playing. So how are we beating Elite then if we cannot buff our towers, right? Because what we would do with Bloonarius is we would get all of these buffs, like, you know, 10 times on the ultra boost, and we would get the alchemist, the perma boost and stuff like that, and we would click, you know, village abilities and stuff like that. So how do we beat it? And the answer is actually very obvious. We use the paragons, because paragons are towers that can actually not get buffed by anything. So you cannot buff paragons, and the Ninja Paragon is perfect for this. It's the most expensive one, but it is the best paragon that we currently have in the game. You guys are gonna see it for the tier 5 of this guy. The Ninja is just an absolute powerhouse. I mean, it does everything that all the 5th tier, the previous 5th tiers do. I don't know how the ability is incorporated yet. Maybe, you know, the balloons are kind of just coming out slower and a little bit damaged. I'm not sure about that one. I think someone's gonna have to do kind of a you know, extensive testing on that. But, you know, the other things, the shurikens, so he still has seeking shurikens, and all of his seeking shurikens are actually explosions, and he still throws charges on them. Those charges do insane amounts of that. You guys are gonna see it in a second. But, you know, getting some towers to defend this guy, so defending the normal balloons actually. And I only have 2 villages because the village buff actually persists, and Lich doesn't care about the village buff, so he doesn't heal off of the village buff. So that's very important. We get the attack speed buff. At least we get, you know, some attack speed, which is nice. But you know, the other ones, the active buffs, the clickable buffs, I guess you could call them, these things are getting just removed when you do this. And I'm gonna be doing some testing. You guys are gonna see on the I think it was the 4th or the 5th one, where I'm gonna be trying these things, and you guys are gonna see how, you know, they just boom, they just disappear. I ultra boost the ace and boom, it just disappears. So tier 3, again, a little bit less HP, I would say. Well, it's not a little bit, I would say it's about 30% ish less HP, because if we were on Bloonarius, this thing would have like what, over, I don't even know how much the normal has actually, but it would be over 300,000 or something like that. And if you guys notice, this small balloon that comes out of him, that guy is taking 5 lives now. So tier 3 takes out 5 lives. Very important to focus him down and actually to have lives. So you need to have lives in reserve so that you're able to sustain. You know, if you're not able to pop it, then you at least need to have some lives so that you survive. So there you go, tier 3, very easy to get to be dealt with. Basically, we're still playing on normal, by the way, so, you know, it's not an issue at all. We have the mat, but now I'm just gonna be spamming some 4th tier ninjas, which, you know, the Sabo. I'm not sure if this is actually the most efficient thing to spam. I haven't done the mats on it. I just bought them because of the what's it called? Because of the Shinobi, right? Because you get more ninjas and then they get the attack speed and stuff like that. So I just like the Shinobis, and I just upgraded to 4th tier. They're all 040. I'm not, you know, I'm not doing 240 or 042, anything like that. I haven't done the mats on this thing, but I'm just basically spamming them for the Paragon degree, which I'm gonna get degree 34 later on. But at this point, we're just, you know, the farming, it's not even that, you know, extensive or that tense farming. I just bought the a basic Monkeypolis with like 5 farms on it, and they aren't even the expensive ones. So we're just trying to get the Paragon, but while, you know, in the process of doing it. So here is where I'm actually gonna buy the village, and I'm actually gonna buy the ace. And, you know, as soon as the next tier comes out, you guys are going to see that these buffs are just going to get boom, they're just going to disappear. So a very interesting ability, and a thing to know about this guy is that alchemists are a no-go. You know, these village buffs, no-go. The engineers, just not, we're not doing any of those while playing Lich. And also, you know, the usual, the 502 sniper, the 501 super barrel, these things I believe work. I believe they work, but, you know, there's no reason for them not to work, right? So that's what I'm going off of. So I just threw in an ultra boost on the ace. This guy's gonna appear, and look at this. Look at his HP. So we get him down to 450,000, and bam, he's full HP. And all of our buffs, I'm showing you guys that all of our buffs, so all the ultra boost stacks are gone. The village buff is gone, and that means that there is no point in using them. So even though, and I forgot to mention this, but if you sell a tower, then he heals. So you're actually incentivized to not sell your towers. You should not be selling towers because he is going to heal off of that. So that's why I bought the support Chinook in the special operations, so that instead of selling, I'm gonna be able to move this guy. And here I'm doing some testing on the small Bloon that comes out of Lich, his copy, his kid, I don't know how to call it again. But this thing, tier 4, it takes out 10 lives. And by the way, we're playing on normal, so we need to be careful about the lives, because I suspect that the elite is going to be taking out a lot more lives. So towers like, you know, support Chinook, which give lives through the ability and are allowing us to move our towers, are going to be very beneficial, I believe. The Paragons are the way to go for the late game. We've got 3 Paragons now. That's how we're going to be dealing with the elite. I think that Lich is moving a little bit faster than Bloonarius, but at the same time it's got less HP. And there we go, I'm just gonna buy the Paragon, and it's gonna be degree 34. So that's it. This is the Paragon. He's not throwing any Caltrops anymore, and I'm just gonna try the Shinobi to see if it works. It doesn't work, you know, Paragons cannot be buffed, but I had to do it, you know, I had to just, in the name of science, I guess, Bloon science, or whatever you want to call it. So now that we know that the Ultra Boost doesn't work, I just sell it. I'm selling the A so that we can get you know, a sense of how strong this guy is. I'm pausing the game, and this is degree 34, and he is literally one-shotting 45 Bloons and 45 the Moabs and BFBs and actually ZOMGs. So this thing is absolutely insane. I just sell the sniper because he's stunning them, and he's causing a little bit of issues for us. But you know, the question that I had is, how is the ability incorporated into all of this? So how is the ninja ability being put into this guy, basically, because I don't really get it. And I don't know what these 2 little spirits, I guess you would call them, flying around him do, because none of the Bloons actually made it so far. Maybe they work something like the Glaive Lords, you know, ranks that they rotate around him. I'm not sure. But anyways, I'm selling all of these towers. We have the Paragon, which is the only thing on the field, and there we go, tier 5. You can see these little, I don't know, these cards or whatever he's throwing at him. These cards, they are, you know, the equivalent of the sticky bomb charges that are being thrown by the master bomber, and this thing just shreds through it. So this is a degree 34. This guy is throwing the shurikens, which I believe explode on impact, and they just pop everything. And this guy, you know, we can't even do some testing. Well, there we go. We saw that was 17 lives taken from us, and there he goes. So that is the Ninja Paragon. That is the new Boss Lich. These guys are amazing. And a little bit of a new feature, which is review map, in which you can click around and you can see which towers you had and where you placed them. A little bit of quality of life, and that is amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, subscribe to it to see the elite one, which is going to be coming out very soon, and I'll see you in the next one.